Now, many people are looking to tonight's State of the Nation address to provide solutions to some of the country's ailing municipalities. The local government elections are scheduled to take place later this year, while revenue streams at already struggling municipalities have been hard hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Newsroom Africa's reporter Pelane Phakgadi is following that story and joins us live. Pelane, a very good afternoon to you. Tell us more about the challenges that SALGA is experiencing and I guess what the expectations are from the President tonight.
Well, Tammy, of course, as expectations have been over the last few years, 3 years in particular, when the current president took office and has been delivering his State of the Nation address, was how the economy was going to be reconstructed. And part of the reconstruction program is to deal with infrastructure completely. And the rollout of those infrastructure programs are at local government municipalities and metros. And that is where we find the South African Local Governance Association, SALGA, and we are now joined live by the CEO of SALGA, Mr. Xolile George. Thank you very much for joining us here on Newsroom Africa. But just tell us here, the role of SALGA and the kind of I'd say, implementation strategies you need from the President as he makes his address tonight.
Good day, Pelane, and good day to all Newsroom Africa viewers. I think every time there's a State of the Nation, it's always an exciting moment for the nation, because the President will be measuring the temperature of the country in terms of a whole range of areas, be it social, economical, and the general mood of society, to make sure that as we start a new year, we all look forward to messages that will deliver hope, that will provide assurance to citizens. So we too, as local government, we're an organization of all municipalities in South Africa, and we look forward to the President's statement this evening, to also assure us about the infrastructure development plan that the President ably outlined last year. And it's more so important to us as local government, because what COVID has done to us as municipalities, it did not only expose the weaknesses and the challenges and contradictions that society faces, poverty, unemployment, it actually accentuated some of the areas, because we've got many people who are now becoming jobless when industries are tankering in the mining and so on, and tourism areas, and across the board, a number of people will find themselves without opportunity. What it does to municipalities that have been struggling on revenue instruments, it exacerbates their situation. So we look forward to an infrastructure drive by the President to make sure that all areas of infrastructure maintenance, areas of installing new infrastructure capacity, especially on electricity and energy, as well as the areas of bulk water, we are able to say as municipalities, the investment drive the President is promoting throughout the country and championing, we are best placed to implement it. So we need to show up in terms of our statement of capability to make sure that we can rally our municipalities behind the commitments that the President will be outlining this evening, and more so on areas of providing an investment climate, because everything that has been raised, Pelane, is going to be executed at municipal level. So we need to show up on many areas, including the weaknesses that are very inherent in municipalities. So we look forward to a district development model that will be central to strengthening municipalities. But as SALGA specifically, we will be championing policy support areas in municipalities, looking at the capacity of those who must execute and target specifically infrastructure capacity as well as maintenance in municipalities.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about the district development model and talking exactly about the challenges that you say the local government municipality you face, perhaps some of the issues are detailing corruption at local government municipalities. How are you continuing to deal with such challenges, and of course bringing in the DDM in itself on amalgamated departments and ensuring now they all come together to work towards one goal of development, infrastructure, and as well as roads, sanitation, all in also developing the rural areas in itself?
Pelane, the district development model is a very exciting initiative that is championed by our Minister of Cooperative Governance, and as led by the President. It's one area that is meant to shift how the three arms of government work, the national, provincial, and local. And we're very excited as SALGA because we've been behind the development of this plan in such a way that it can harness capacities, and where there's limited capacity, we can draw on expertise of others, be they national. But on top of that, we now have an opportunity to have one plan that can speak to all the sector priorities that must be there. Then we can be able to assess the limitations that exist at local level. How do we augment that with provincial capacity and national? So at the core of it is a call for all of us to demonstrate maturity as the three spheres of government, particularly at the level of local level, because there you've got a two-tier system. So you're going to be a district, but you also have 5 or 6 locals that work under yourself. So we're quite excited in that area because for the first time we can say in our country, there's 44 districts, there's 8 metropolitan municipalities. What is happening in every space? So the president can see the kind of investment drives, the kind of development programs that he's championing as the head of state are actually translated. And we also cure the limitations that exist at local government. Sometimes they are very depressing in terms of the weaknesses of execution, even if there's budgets available. And also the fourth challenge that we have as a country, which is corruption. So we need to find ways of ensuring that we are consistent in rooting out instances of maladministration, malfeasance, and corruption, and working closely with law enforcement. It will go a long way to provide an assuring statement to the nation that local government is at work and is serious about tackling the contradictions of poverty, unemployment, and inequality.
Yeah, just very shortly on those particular challenges, of course, just quite shortly. The challenges, some of them is the issue around councillors being unable to even read reports and even relate to reports so that they can better articulate their representation in council. What role will SALGA be playing to ensure that they are equipped, not really to sound elitist, but they are equipped, and at the same time there is movement for the DDM to be rolled out?
SALGA has been very consistent since year 2000 to provide what we call a comprehensive integrated plan for induction of councillors, for training them on portfolio areas, but also to provide strength on oversight. What we have seen so far is a glaring weakness on the oversight instruments, whether it's at province and national, and I think you will see some of the weaknesses around oversight that have been exposed in the Zondo Commission. They are also prevalent at local level. So what we did was to establish what we call municipal public accounts committees. Although they've got limited executive powers to enforce their roles. So we look forward that as we transition to the 5th administration of municipalities come November, possible when there's elections, then we're going to have a 5th administration of municipalities. So as SALGA, we are saying to all political parties, you need to look deeply in terms of the capacity of people that you are sending, without saying we need people who have got certain levels of qualifications. No doubt, we need people because local government is a very complex space. So it means we need the best amongst us to be deployed to local government level to make sure that we make the work of SALGA capacitating. At least you have people who have a sufficient grasp of the level of policy making, the nuancing of issues, the legislative complexity, to make sure that our country receives the best public representatives that can articulate their aspiration and execute on the task at hand.
Yeah, Xolile George, CEO of SALGA, let's hold it there. Thank you very much for your time there. Speaking, of course, ahead of that much anticipated State of the Nation address by the President later on tonight, and giving literally a call onto political parties that they must take a deep look at to the councillors that they propel through into council, that they are able to not only understand complexities of local governance, but as well as to be able to relate and offer better solutions. Tammy?